everyone, welcome back to the English class. Today we're going to talk about countables and uncountable nouns using some, any and no. When we talked about nouns in general, we mentioned that nouns can be countable and uncountable. Countable nouns can be counted. This is the point. For example, an orange, 2 oranges, 3 oranges, and so on. Uncountable nouns can not be counted. For example, rice, sugar, salt. Note something, uncountable nouns don't have a plural form, so they are uncountable and they cannot be in a plural form. You can see a list of countable nouns and a list of uncountable nouns. And this is from the previous class that we had about food and drinks. So countable can be cake, melon, mushroom, nuts, olive, peas, peach, and strawberry. And uncountable can be cream, lamb, olive oil, vinegar, and yogurt. We'll start with countable nouns again. For positive sentences, we use the articles a, un for singular nouns and some for plurals. There is a cat in the garden and there are some cats in the garden. These are 2 examples. The first one is in singular because we have the noun cat, and the noun cat starts with C, which is a consonant sound, and we add the article a. There are some cats. We have the S at the end of the word cat, which makes it a plural noun, and we add some before it. Some cats in the garden. To make the negative form, we use the articles un again for singular nouns and any for plurals. For example, there isn't a cat in the garden, and there aren't any cats in the garden. Uncountable nouns. We use some for positive sentences. For example, there is some milk in the fridge. In this case, we have the noun milk, which is uncountable noun, and we use some in this case. We use any for negative sentences. There isn't any milk in the fridge. We use the articles un, and any or how many in questions with countable nouns. For example, is there a cat in the garden? Is there any cat in the garden? How many cats are in the garden? And for uncountable nouns, we use any or how much. For example, is there any milk in the fridge? How much milk is in the fridge? But when we talk about offerings and asking for something, we use some. For example, do you want some cake? Or can we have some cake? We'll have some exercises using countable and uncountable nouns. You can see the picture on the screen and you can see some food on the table. You're going to ask questions for the things that you can see. Also, there are things that we cannot see on the table. Let's start from the first one. We have melons on the table. The question is, are there any melons on the table? The answer, yes, there are. The second, cream on the table. The question is there any cream on the table? So can you see the cream on the table? No, there isn't. The next one, strawberries on the table. The question is, are there any strawberries on the table? And the answer is, yes, there are. Next one is olive oil, the fourth. How would you ask a question using olive oil? Is there any olive oil on the table? The answer is, yes, there is. Next one, it's nuts. The question is, Are there any nuts on the table? And the answer is no, there aren't. Next one, meat. The question is there any meat on the table? And the answer is yes, there is. The next one, the seventh, mushrooms. The question is, are there any mushrooms on the table? The answer is yes, there are. And the last one, vinegar. The question is there any vinegar on the table? And the answer is no, there isn't. So now you can identify which one is countable and which one is uncountable from this exercise and from everything we said previously. Now you're going to listen to a conversation between Kevin and Jody. They are at the supermarket. What are the 5 things that they buy and what do they forget to buy? You have to make a list, so listen carefully to the conversation.
Okay, what do we need?
Well, I want some big mushrooms and we need some cheese.
Let's get the vegetables first then. How many mushrooms do you want?
5 or 6. Do you like mushrooms?
They're okay on the barbecue. Now, let's buy some tomatoes for the salad and some olives.
Oh yes, I love olives. Now, what did Tom want?
A bottle of cola and some bread.
Oh yes. Well, here's the cola. Hi, Tom. Yes, we're coming home now. We've got everything. Mushrooms, cheese, tomatoes, olives, and a big bottle of cola.
So do you have the list of the things that they buy and one thing that they forget? It's mushrooms, cheese, tomatoes, olives, and cola. And the thing that they forget is bread. So this is all about countable and uncountable nouns. As homework, you're going to work on your workbook, page 12, exercise 4 and 5, and page 13, exercise 6. This is all about countable and uncountable nouns. See you in the next class.